Just this absolutely beautiful Colonial cufflink. I want something like that today.
That's sweet.
That's what I want, is something just like that today. Well, I haven't taken it out of the hole yet, but I can see it's gonna be a really nice tom back. Oh, it still has the full shank too. Look at that. He's got a 70 something signal in his whites. It's a 20 to 21 on my Equinox. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Steph here, and first order of business, something should look a little different. I have professional lighting now. This is awesome. I'm so excited about that, and I finally have a tripod, so I don't have to hold the camera all wonky and make you guys dizzy. I've got free hands now, so that's super exciting. Now, moving into this week's video, my friend Isaac was back up from Virginia to visit me in Connecticut, and we managed to find a couple of sites that dated between, I would say, the late 1600s to mid 1700s, and we found some really, really great relics that day. So without further ado, we're going to jump into this week's video, but first, make sure you go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified of every new upload I make if you enjoy this video. Let's hop in. I'm out at a site with Isaac today. We think this is pretty early occupation. It's right behind that log over there, just on the shape of it. We're assuming maybe early 1700s. He just found a pewter and tomback button, which he's going to bring over to me. But in the meantime, I'll show you what I just pulled. Bring up an 11 to 12 on the Equinox. And it looks kind of octagonal. It's tough to see in the viewfinder.
Ooh.
But it appears to have a nice little pattern on there.
Looks like a cufflink.
Yeah, I think it is a cufflink. Oh, Donnie Bailey's going to be jealous. Ha! He's probably going to comment on this video now, too, because he watches my videos. Oh, yeah, it's totally an octagon. Look at that.
That's sweet.
Heck yeah. All right, good. There's still stuff here. We did find somebody's iron pile, but it was buried, so what have we got there?
A pewter button and a tomback button. I got to put that in dirt, protect it.
Definitely. Cool. We've been here, what, 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's
All right,
go.
it's going to be fun. Woohoo! All right. So Isaac thinks he has something pretty cool. He's inside of the cellar hole crawling out right now. This is just very tough swinging today. It's truly all prickers, and they're about 3 feet high. So we'll try to meet in the middle a little bit and not say expletives into the camera, because it really hurts walking through this junk. So what did we get here?
Looks like a really old drawer
Yep,
pull.
that's absolutely what that is. It's a circa 1700 drawer pull. I'm almost positive that's exactly what it is. Remember the one I found at the last cellar we were at with the coin spill?
Oh yeah,
That's exactly what.
That was very similar to this one.
Yeah,
this one has a little like teardrop thing on the bottom.
Yep, and mine was teardrop too, but it was flat on one side. Yep.
Never found one quite like that.
No, that's very old. So as we suspected, even just looking at maps, this is an old site.
Sweet.
All right, worth it to play around in the thicket, I guess. That's kind of what I'm doing. My machine is back over there. You can't even see it. Oh yeah, you can. Find the machine. Anyway, but yeah, this is what we're dealing with.
Tough swinging, but it's worth it.
I think it's going to be worth it for sure.
Yeah,
so,
something good's going to come out.
very cool. All right.
Awesome.
On to the next.
On to the next. See ya.
So to give you an idea, look at how I am completely surrounded by prickers. They're even like overhead. But anyway, I got like a 4 to an 8 bouncy signal. Figured it was going to be another small button, and it is. Haven't even looked at it yet. Is it? Yeah. Wait a minute. Wow, this is cool. What on earth? It's like round on the front. Like it's convex. And the back, it almost looks like it's an octagon again. What the heck? All right, I'm going to give this a quick field clean, and I'll get right back to you in a second with exactly what this is. But I'm pretty sure it's a button. It's just the back is weird. Okay, be right back. Okay, so I did a quick field clean of this buttony thing. The back is completely hollow, and I mean, that could be where a shank attached, but if you look very carefully, the edge is really crude. And what I believe this actually is the top piece of either a blowhole button or an expansion button. And those would be very, very early 1700s. So I'm going to recheck the hole, see if I can find the back of this. But that's what I'm going to call it. I think this is part of an extremely early button. So very cool. All right, I'll let you know if I find the back. If not, I'll be with you on the next target. So Isaac might be crushing my hopes and dreams again right now. He dug a couple of coppers the other day, and I wasn't filming that day. And now he's got a 70-something signal on his whites. It's a 20 to 21 on my Equinox. Not very deep. And everything here has been pretty deep so far, so that's a little concerning, but you never know.
Well,
What is that? Chunk of lead.
it's a modern bullet. Are you serious?
That's what I was afraid of. I've been finding modern bullets up
That's
here.
such a shame. All right.
Oh well.
On to the next one.
So right after that last clip, we moved on to another site deeper in the woods, and that's when things really started to heat up. All right, on to site number 2, because the last one was pretty hammered, but looks like a nice big old cellar. Somebody's junk. Please take your iron with you. This is very rude to leave iron piles, especially when it's small enough to take in your bag. That's my PSA for today. So anyway, but pretty large site. There's also another depression right up this way. I don't know what it was, because I don't think it was the, I'll just take you over there. I don't think it was the well by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, it may have been the starter home, because that's usually what it'll look like. It's just a crater like that. So lots of rock walls, and then up there on the other side of that rock wall, it's a nice proper road. So lots of swigging space, not nearly as many prickers and briars as the last site. So we'll let you know what we find. So Isaac got something pretty cool right off the bat.
Nice shoe buckle shape.
Yeah, look how green it is. It's so cute. This would have gone on a child's shoe buckle, or maybe even a lady's shoe buckle. It's a little chunky thing.
It's a little small too.
So maybe a little boy's shoe buckle or something.
Yeah, it's a cute little thing.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Me too.
I'm working on a 17 or 18 signal right on the lip, and kind of distorting the plug a little bit, but it might be a big piece of junk. We'll see. But that's a good first find out here.
All right, sweet. So, let's get back at it.
Boom.
Awesome.
All right.
Woohoo!
This is kind of funny. I'm right on what I believe is the chimney pile. And about 2 or 3 inches down, I got this, like frozen chunk. And I isolated it with a pinpointer. It's a little tomback button from the frost layer. I don't think it has a shank, but I can't tell yet. I'm going to let this thaw out in my bag, and hopefully later I'll remember to give you a cleaned up shot of that. But that's pretty cool and fairly remarkable. I didn't break it trying to get it out, so... All right, let's keep going. Okay, so I did get that little tomback button out of a clump of frozen ground. Nice little one. Shank is broken off, and that's usually what happens with these, but that's perfectly fine. I mean, given it was right on the limb in this of this cellar, and it was clearly just, hunted probably pretty recently, they didn't do the best job. So we've got hopes. Gonna keep going. So I needed to enlist Isaac's help for something. I had a really good signal in this massive hole that I was digging in earlier. I'm going to fill that up, don't worry. And I needed some gusto to move a threshold stone so that we could get this out of there. Look at that hammerhead. That is Colonial all day. I've only ever dug one other complete hammerhead. And this one's even bigger. Look how much it was used.
This is a fun
Now that
site.
is cool. That is cool iron. I don't care what anyone says. Sometimes iron is really awesome to dig. And I think I'll probably go throw that in my backpack because it's a heavy sucker, but that's amazing. I cannot wait to restore that. It'd be a great winter project. All right. Oh boy. Oh boy, I got a little bit of a heartbreaker of a 22 screamer signal. I thought it was totally going to be my copper for the day. Instead, it's a very thick button. It's actually a pretty nice one, nice back mark. And that's why I rang up so high, is it's thick like a coin. Oh boy, that really had me going. That was an incredible signal. I was so excited for that. Still a beautiful button. But it's been a while since I pulled a really old coin, and that's what I'm hoping I can squeak out before the end of the day. Isaac just found a dandy button right where he's swinging right now. So I was thinking maybe that's what this was if it wasn't a copper, but I will take it. There's got to be more here, so whoever was here before missed a ton of targets so far. Now the cellar hole's right back there. I'm kind of moving along this way to what I believe is the barn. On my way there, got a 12 signal about 8 inches down, and it is a little pewter button. I don't think it has anything on there. I can't really tell. Part of the shank is still intact, but see how it's already flaking off? Pewter is incredibly brittle and very fragile, so as I've said before in my videos, you want to pack these in dirt and stuff them away somewhere secure so that it doesn't degrade anymore before you get home, and then seal it off with either maybe a mixture 50-50 Elmer's glue and water, or you could even just use hairspray, which is what I do. So if I find out there's a pattern on here, I will let you know, but otherwise I'll see you on the next. I just got something wicked cool. You got a little knee buckle, and it's got the anchor tongue, or yeah, it's the shape, excuse me. So that's going to be pretty early. Really early to mid 1700s, maybe?
Possibly. I mean, I've been finding tombacks and pewters in this area, so it seems like there's a lot of early mid 1700s stuff.
Yeah, because I just took a pewter over this way. It's falling apart in my bag right now because I don't have anywhere to put it with dirt. But we're gonna keep going. I want something like that today.
That's sweet.
That's what I want, is something just like that today.
Go find it. Go find it.
I'm trying really hard. I'm swinging faster and faster, which is probably a huge mistake.
Yeah.
But I have to.
I totally understand that.
Yeah. I gotta get mine.
Competitive edge. Gotta love it. Right.
Always. All right. Be back with you.
Let you know.
Well, I am on the cufflinks today. It's about 6 or 8 inches down there. I got a 12 signal. And just this absolutely beautiful Colonial cufflink. You can see a nice little pattern on there. And the link is still attached on the back. It looks like. I'll just clean this off real quick and get right back to you to show you that. Okay, so I brushed off that cufflink. Really, really nice design. Sorry it's not sunny out, so you can't really see a whole lot going on. In the back, this little pin loop still moves. I'm trying not to drop the thing while I'm trying to keep this in focus. Bear with me. So I'll rescan around and see if I can find the other one, but I'm pretty sure that's how whoever lost it in the first place, is the other half of the cufflink fell off. But those are always nice, really early personal items. And something somebody may have worn every single day. That's awesome. All right, gonna get back at it. Well, it would appear I'm stuck on mid-tone and button mode, but just got another one. This looks like a tiny little tomback, yep. With a complete, really offset shank. That's pretty cool. Don't think there's anything on the front. Usually isn't. Nope. But wow, did that take a little while to pinpoint, as you can imagine. All right, getting dark out here a little bit, so we'll keep going for a little bit longer and hope we find something else. Well, I don't believe it, but that is the lip of the cellar right there. And earlier on the other side, I dug that cufflink that had a little link still attached to it. And I think I just completed that. Looks like it's from the same set of cufflinks, I believe. Maybe not. You know what? I don't know. It can't be, because this would not be, it wouldn't have a complete shank like that. It's cool. It looks like it has a little pattern on there too. Awesome. All right. So I found out after I shared my finds on Facebook and Instagram that it just so happens a friend of mine had actually found cufflinks like the ones I found, and they were connected, meaning they are a matching set after all. Who knew? But as we saw, both shanks were intact and the loop was intact on that first one I found, meaning there are 2 more out there. Or they were already dug up by other detectorists, because as you saw, there was iron on the edge of the cellar hole lip, meaning someone has been there before, even though they didn't do the best job, because we found a bunch of stuff. Moving right along, let's hop back in. And not but a few feet away from my cufflink, came over here and got a 13 to 14 signal. Haven't taken it out of the hole yet, but I can see it's going to be a really nice tomback. Oh, it still has the full shank too. Look at that. Wow, that's a huge one. And it's super off center. And it's convex and beautiful. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, that's one of the nicest buttons I've dug today, that's for sure. Absolutely gorgeous. And I love that it has that full shank. It's just twisted around, very off center. That'll definitely date to the mid 1700s, somewhere in there. That's a beautiful find. Now, in last week's video, I had posed the question to you all, do you like seeing wrap-ups even if I'm just alone in the woods with other people, etc.? Do you like seeing all the stuff at the end? And there was an overwhelming response of yes. So without further ado, we're going to hop into a wrap-up right now. I didn't film one when Isaac and I were finished with the day because we actually walked out of the woods in the dark. Don't worry, we had headlamps. But typically speaking, you want to try not to do that, although it is difficult when the sun goes down at 4:30. So in any event, we're going to hop into the wrap-up. Hope you enjoy it. Alright guys, so on to the wrap-up here. Let's go through what we found. First of all, this pile is from the previous hunt that I had done with Isaac that I was mentioning earlier on in the video when he was digging that bullet that I thought might be a copper. So we're going to put that aside for now. Let's focus on what we did find. So we found those 2 pewter buttons. Okay. Nothing on them, and I don't think either of them have a shank, no. Just a little nubbin where one used to be. But they're pewter, so those are early to mid 1700s, most likely somewhere in there. We did find a couple of tomback buttons. That's the one that was frozen in the frost layer, which is pretty remarkable. I didn't break it. I was chopping at it off camera, which you did not see. And I don't know if I'd recommend doing that, but we got it out. It's as complete as it'll ever be, so that's a nice one. Another little baby tomback there with the full shank, of course. This is that first cufflink I pulled at site number 1. See if this is going to focus. Yep. And it does have the complete shank on the back. So very nice find. Again, that's probably early to mid 1700s, somewhere in that range. Okay. This is the button from the second site that I thought might end up being a copper. Whamp, whamp, it wasn't, but you can kind of see, hopefully the camera captures it, it still has a little bit of gold gilt on the back. So nice button. Nothing on the front, but it's a good target. And of course this is, let me slide this off so I can pick it up. This is that part of a blowhole button that I was talking about in the beginning of the video at the first site. So that's incredibly old. Those again are normally, I would say early to mid 1700s, somewhere in there. Maybe even a little older, we don't really know. The beautiful tomback from site number 2 with the complete shank. And it's just been twisted around and warped, and that is very typical of tomback buttons. I seem to find them on almost every hunt, so can't complain about that. And of course, as I was mentioning earlier, this is a complete set of cufflinks, so I kind of made them look like they were connected in this little capsule here, and I am displaying them together. So really, really happy about that. It's not every day I find cufflinks, that's for sure. So moving on, I'm going to just gently push this over to the right. Okay, so from the hunt a few days prior to that one where I went with Isaac, I did find a tomback button. I'm sorry I wasn't filming that day, I just really didn't feel like it. It happens. So nice tomback button, really, really dark, and no shank on this one, but it is a nice old one. Again, it's probably around mid 1700s. we're seeing a trend here. Those sites were old. Right in the cellar hole lip of the site we had gone to that I didn't film is a bashed up musket ball, no way to date that, and a teeny little round ball. And I'm not sure if it's been fired. I was able to see the sprue on here earlier. I think it might be right there. And that's from when they poured the lead into a mold, because there would be several side by side. So it might be an indication, if I can still see that, that it was not actually fired. And I always love finding dropped musket balls. Never gets old. But the really remarkable find that don't run away from me. The really remarkable find that I didn't share was this one. Doesn't look like much, and the camera's not really going to capture the detail very well, but there's a star pattern on there. It's a 2-piece button. The shank is broken. It looks like it was iron. And the back is made of tomback material, much like the other buttons I was showing you. This, more than likely, actually predates a blowhole button. These are theorized to be as old as the late 1600s, so it's one of my oldest relics to date, and I do wish I had captured that on film. It did take a few days to preserve this. The front is pewter, so it crumbles immediately when you try to clean it. I did seal this off with hairspray, and now it is preserved, but I still need to be very careful with it. Well, I can't believe it, but I managed to almost forget about my hammer because it's been sitting in vinegar for about a month now since I found it. So you can see a lot of the rust is gone, but there's still some remaining. So I'm going to have to let that soak even more. And then I will seal this off with Rust-Oleum Rust Reformer after I dry it out in the oven. I will put a link in the description below. I'm getting filthy. In the description below on one little iron restoration video that I had done, so you can see exactly how this will look when it's finished. Well, that's all for this week, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget, make sure you go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell if you did enjoy this video. Feel free to share it with your friends, and of course, drop me a comment if you want to talk with me. We'll see you next week.